Hey artists and creators, J-Star here, and today I want to show you how I made these beautiful, sort of abstract artist trading cards. It's some stamping, it's some embossing, and it's some distress inks. All right, let me show you how I did it. Okay, so we're going to start our project by stamping a lovely face, and this is a Dina Wakley stamp that came on this set. I really love this stamp. I think it's so cool. Anyway, we're going to find a page that looks good. And you know how I always say, look for a full page. Actually, we'll do it on this one. Look for a full page of text as opposed to like this where it's conversational and it has those cuts in, because we want as many words in our background as possible. Okay, and this happens to be a Dutch book, so that's fun. And I'm just going to stamp in the middle of this. Oh, I should put it up there. And I just re-inked this, so hopefully it'll be nice and juicy. I get a lot of goodness on there. And then I'm going to try to be really straight. I want the, I'm going to end up cutting this in half, and I want it, you know, to be level with the words. So the stamp is going to be a little unlevel to make the face level. Does that make sense? It doesn't matter because you may not have this stamp. You may be using a different stamp. So, and you may not cut it in half. Who knows? I'm going to take it off of there. That's nice. And then I'm going to print a second copy over here on cardstock. Okay, and it doesn't matter. It's just going to be a ghost print, but this is what we're going to use to cut up as our mask in a minute. Okay, so we've got those two. Now we just want to cut this out. Actually, I want to cut it in half first, and it'll be easier if it's whole, if it's still on the paper. And I'm going to just swoop. Okay, just trying to line it up right between her eyes and her lips. And I got nice halves. So now I'll cut it out. Okay, I'll just cut that part off. Okay. And I'll go ahead and cut this out, but I'm not going to cut it in half yet. Okay, that's our mask. Now, I'm going to take a couple of artist trading card sized cardstock. It's 2.5 by 3.5, and I'm going to glue the face onto the half. And you want a lot of this glue stick. Duh. Okay, you want a lot of glue stick on there. This paper is pretty thin, so the glue stick will soak in, but sometimes that can make it not stick. So make sure you put a lot on there. Good. And she kind of overlaps, that's fine. My words are a little wonky, but that's also fine. Some people don't care about wonky words. Are you a person who cares about wonky words? Leave me a comment. See, that's a trick that I've seen people do. They ask a question in the middle of their videos, so I'm going to try it. Will you leave me a comment? P.S. If you're watching on your TV or your and you don't know how to leave comments, you can pick up your phone and open YouTube on your phone and hit history, and you'll see it'll open this video right where it's playing on your phone and on your TV or whatever, and then you can leave a comment there. It's so easy, and it helps me so much. I think people just don't understand. They think it's frivolous, but the algorithm looks for people commenting. They look for people liking, especially looking for people subscribing. So if you do any of that, it's amazing. It really helps my channel. Okay, lots of glue. I'm almost at the 1,000 subscriber mark, which is awesome. And I've almost got 4,000 view hours, which is also awesome, which means I could monetize soon, which means I could get a little money for it. You know, even $20, $20 a week would be great. Anything. Okay. So now we have our little cards. Beauteous. And now like this one, I don't have it, the ink doesn't go down the arm there. So I'm just going to take a pen. I want to finish that out. That's cool. And it doesn't really matter, but I'm going to connect those little open areas. I'm going to put embossing powder all over this anyways, so it'll be fine. Okay, so we have our text face on the cards. Now we're going to emboss them. And here's my embossing pin. This is a medium tip. These are great. I tried using a stamp pad and stamping back over the image, but I just couldn't line it up. Like you can see, it's double there, so I just could not line it up. Unless you have one of those stamp machines, which I don't. No, whatever it's stamp aligner, stamp folder, I don't know what they're called. They're too expensive. Anyway, I'm going to take this embossing pen and I'm going to outline my the face. And actually, I'm going to fill in all where the black is. Once I've covered everything, I'm going to go back on the edge. I'm going to make sure that's really covered. And then take our black embossing powder. And cover it. And by the way, this is a great trick. I learned this from Simon Hurley. Emboss the top of your lids for your embossing powder. And all you have to do is take your stamp pad. Oh, where is it? Take the embossing stamp pad and just, you know, press your lid against it. It may take 2 times, and then put your powder on it, emboss it, heat emboss it, and then you'll know exactly how your embossing powder looks once it's heated and melted. So you don't have any question of how it looks. Okay. Now we're going to take this. Okay. This turned out pretty good. If you have any of these little stray pieces, just use a hard bristle brush. This is a nylon brush. And just knock them off. If you have one of those anti-static bags, that also helps. Ooh. But a few of them don't matter. Also, I'll do it on the next one. You can use a dryer sheet to try to help get rid of that static. All right, now we're going to emboss this. Normally I wouldn't do this with this open here, but I'm gonna do it up in the air. So hopefully you can see it, but it's gonna get a couple layers, so I don't wanna just put it back in and, you know, blah, blah, blah. Cool, all embossed. And we're gonna let that cool down a little bit. Okay. Unfurl it and curl it. And I do like this embossing pen because it's pink when it's wet and then it dries clear. So you can tell where you've gone, even though it does take a while to get rid of that pink, but it goes eventually. Okay. So now I want to go back over. If you can see there's a slight little line between the paper, the book paper and the cardstock, and I want to make sure that's sealed with embossing powder. So I'm just going to go back over it. And if there's anywhere else I want to put a little extra. Probably fine, okay. Okay, that looks pretty good. Basically, we want that edge sealed because when we put the wet inks on this side, I don't want them seeping into the edges or under the book text, okay? So I'm gonna do the other one, and yeah, I'm gonna do the other one and then we'll get back to it, okay? Okay, I have both pieces embossed now. Hope you can see that. And they look pretty great as is, but of course we're gonna do more. So I've got this cut out. I'm gonna grab some washi tape. And I'm gonna line this up. Now, I use cardstock. On my first ones, I used just some scrap typing paper, and it needs to be sturdier. So, so use cardstock. Okay, I'm just gonna line this up. And I'll go ahead and put a piece of tape on the back just to hold them together for a second. Yep. And then I'm going to cut it. Can I cut the top of her head? I can. And really, you should cut up the middle first. In case the lady slipped either way, like this. I cut off the bottom of her shirt and it's there, but I can cover that with washi tape. Okay, in fact, I'll do that right now. Just come in here. Okay, now that mask is held on there. Okay, and that mask is held on there. And now we're going to do a little inking. So I've got a little piece of glass here. You can use whatever your board, whatever thing you mix on. And I'm going to take 3 colors of Distress Oxide ink. I'm going to take Twisted Citron, Cracked Pistachio, and Peacock Feather. Okay, I'm going to put them on my plate, my glass. Put a little more up here. All right, now I've got some water and a little brush, and I'm going to spritz my card and then spritz my inks. And I'm just going to come in here. Maybe I'll do it the same way. I didn't clean this brush since I had the purple in it. You can see that. It's okay. Where's my... Basically, I just want to brush some color along the edge of the face. Okay. Get it well socked in there. And then I'm just going to take it, I'm going to put the green up there, the pistachio there, the turquoise in the middle. Okay. I'm just kind of blotting it. Oops, wrong brush. Ooh. Let me get that one out of my way. And I'm just going to come back and touch anywhere where there's kind of white area. Okay. Looks pretty good. So I'm going to put a little more of the purer citron. And because it's the oxide inks, this will layer over that, giving it the greener effect. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, you can leave the tape on there or take it off, whichever you want. Now, maybe because I don't want this contaminated green there. Do that. Maybe I'll do it on all of them. A little extra fresh. This one I'm going to go for, I think, peacock there. We'll go pistachio along the bottom. We'll go lime, citron in the middle. That looks kind of like a hard line, so we'll kind of get rid of that. Did I spritz this? Maybe I didn't spritz that one. And we'll get some lime up there. Okay, looks pretty good to me. Do I have some paper? I'll just take some of this paper. Oh, actually, you know what? I'll take this cardstock right here. This is very Allison from Words and Pictory, and I love it. Cool. Make a nice little piece of collage paper. Cool. So now I just want to dry these. And I am going to use my heat tool a little bit, even though I have that embossing. Sorry, even though I have the embossing stuff on there. But I'm going to use it carefully. Okay. Cool, cool. Now I use my hair dryer and do the front. Okay, they're nice and crispy dry. And now I'm just gonna put some backs on them, and I'm just using, this is a freezer box of jalapeno poppers, or bacon wrapped jalapenos. Delicious, from Aldi. I'm gonna go outside, put on my goggles and my respirator. Yep, totally did that. Ooh, don't need that extra washy under there. And also, when I spray, I'm spraying onto this back card and not the art card, because sometimes the aerosol that's in the craft glue can seep through, and it's like an alcohol or an oil, and it can stain the front of your card. So, you know, be careful. Totally respirated. I do have my French doors open today, so you can hear the bird song. And that is awesome. Check my edges. Okay, and now I just want to give it, oop, where's that? Just got that out. Yeah. I want to give it a frame because it's art. Be very careful. Tilting the marker slightly in, go around the edge. And the corners can buckle, so just not too much pressure. Cool. And like, let me just show you. I always do this, but okay, look at the difference. See that? Just that little black edge just defines it. It just makes it complete. Cool. And you might want to put Mod Podge over this. I like this matte finish next to this glossy, and then you see the book text has a different texture underneath it. So I think that's cool. I did these with a little different stamp, same from the same collection, but just the other stamp. I love it. They're cool, right? So I've got them all finished. I just wanted to show you what I'll probably end up doing with these is putting them on greeting cards and sell them as art cards at the next market, which is a night market on Friday, which was really fun 2 weeks ago. And so I bought this collection of cards at on Amazon. I forget, I can link it or put it up there. I'm not good about putting all those things on there. But let's look at the purples. I like this because there's a variety of colors. Actually, I could probably do 2 cards, one of each shade. So take this purple, mount that on there. That's gorgeous. Okay. And then let's see what this one looks like. That's pretty too. I may prefer that because it makes does it make it pop? I don't know. Let's look at the reversed. I like this better. This is a darker background and this is a lighter background, so that works better. That's cool. Let's look at colors for, let's try a yellow. A bold, happy yellow. I mean, that is pretty. But let's also try the orange. Oh. That's really pretty. Yeah. Yeah, I prefer the orange. And then for greens, do I have a limey green still? It's like lime greens and aquas. That's what I use first in everything. I could try the aqua. I think it's not going to look as good. Oh, too. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty. It's pretty, but it's not great. This green is terrible. And this green is too hospitally, I think. I mean, that's pretty. I might throw one of those in there just for the market on Friday. Cool. Anyway, this is probably what I'm going to end up doing with them. And here they are, my finished cards. So just again, on this one, I used cracked pistachio, peacock feather, and twisted citron. On this one, I used villainous potion, blueprint sketch, and prize ribbon. And on this one, I used fossilized amber, spiced marmalade, and candied apple. This one, I actually tried to apply some of the candied apple to the card directly, but I forgot to spritz it with water, so it got that hard line. But I kind of like it, so I'm going to leave it there. Anyway, I think they turned out rather cool. It's a pretty easy way to make a beautiful artist trading card. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please like and subscribe and leave me a comment. I'd love to hear what you think. From Funkin' Dazzles, this is J-Star saying have a great day and keep creating.